Hello, my name is Robert Morrison and I'm currently a new student at Grand Canyon University. I'm working on getting a special education license and a master's through their program. And I'm also currently a second-year teacher at Converge Day Treatment Center in Fort Morgan, Colorado. And I'm definitely the farthest thing in the world from a veteran teacher. I've had 1 year under my belt, and as they say, being a first-year teacher is definitely pretty hard. So looking back, what dispositions do I believe that make someone a great teacher or will make me a great teacher? The one I liked the best was actually that educators should exercise sound judgment and ethical behavior. And I also thought this one tied in nicely to another one that said that educators should model integrity by their words and their actions. What I found with the students is that whether I like it or not, they're very perceptive, and a lot of them are even almost cynical about their educational experience. And so they can quite easily see if you're sincere, if you're a genuine individual, or if you're there just trying to basically collect a paycheck. And so when it comes to ethics, I think nothing is more important than being able to model that and demonstrate it to them. One of the other reasons for this, not just being able to reach them effectively, that idea that they're not going to care about what you have to teach them until they care about you, that is very important. But the other thing is, a lot of times I don't even have fathers in the picture. And in our school we have currently 16 students, and we're capped. And out of all of them, only one has a father at home. And so whether I like it or not, or as a staff we like it or not, they really do look to our male teachers as role models and almost as father figures. And so I know my behavior may be the one of the few things they really look at in setting up someone as a role model. I have one memory of actually about 6 months ago accidentally saying the word damn when I was very excited about something that a kid did very well. And 6 months later they still remember that. So I found that I have to really, really work hard to always watch everything that I say and everything that I do, because sometimes the positive behavior I model isn't noticed near as much as if I ever make a mistake or two. And so that's one that really stuck with me, is being able to basically model good, appropriate behavior. Behavior showing respect, self-control, discipline, patience, forgiveness. Those are all things that they recognize when they're done well, and also they're very quick to pick up when they're not done. The other thing that I found that's helped me a lot my first year was having a willingness to try and look for other teachers as a role model myself that were effective. I remember like pretty much in the first month I was there, we have a very large student. He's about 165 pounds and he's only 8 years old. And he's severely autistic. And there was one time he refused to get off the bus. And there were about 3 of us teachers that were doing everything we could, trying to offer incentives and whatnot, and nothing worked. And then we had one teacher that just almost had a magic touch, just went in there, said a couple sentences to him, and he got off the bus and got right into school without any issues, or without having to be physically moved, which is always dangerous and stressful for not just staff but students. And so right off the bat I'm like, what did you do? And so I've found it's very important to really work well with the other staff members and try and foster those kind of connections, because they're the only way that I believe we have to learn and to grow. That leads me into the second disposition, which was, what do I think I need to work on before I become a first-year teacher? I've survived my first year, but what would I say that helped me through that? One of my close friends is actually a retired teacher now, but he spent about 30 years teaching. And what he told me was that no matter what you do, you're going to be a bad teacher the first 3 years. And the students are going to suffer just because you don't have experience. And that kind of fit in right rather well within the dispositions that says that educators should recognize that reflection combined with that experience leads to growth as a professional. And I've seen that with a lot of our interns there that are doctoral students, and they have a lot of knowledge, but still if they don't have a lot of experience working with the kids, they can still have a tough time just trying to get them to do a 20-minute activity. And so trying to basically be able to laugh at myself and not be too hard on myself has helped a lot and helped me survive my first year. And that leads me to the final one. What does a professional educator look like and how do they behave? I've always liked the saying that the secret to knowledge is the ability to learn anywhere, from anyone, and at any time. I've learned from my students. I've definitely learned from other staff members. I've learned from the director, but I've also picked up information just from doing other activities I do in my life. And when I work with the students that I do, I've always been very desperate to find as useful techniques as possible because the situations are very serious. And so I believe being the eternal student is probably what's going to help me become the best teacher. Because I believe that the minute that you stop becoming that student, basically your ability to teach kind of gets cut in half because you can't put yourself in their shoes, you can't empathize. And what I found is genuineness and honesty trump everything with students. Again, they're very perceptive, and if they know that you're on their side and that you're willing to make them, you're okay making a mistake, they're much more willing to forgive you. Because what I have found is my job can be summed up into just one sentence. When they say, I don't want to do this, can you get them to do without it becoming a power struggle? And having a good connection with the kids is what makes that happen. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you have a good day.